college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for FanSided. I'm joined today by a man who is all killer and no filler. He doesn't want to waste his time becoming another casualty of society, but rather than fall in line, he got all mixed up, man. He's in too deep. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. How are you?
All killer, no filler, baby. That's why I roll my own cigarettes. No, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Oh, it makes no difference to me. But we got more than a half an hour of power. We may have at least two, possibly closer to three, because this is false start. We got stuff to talk about today.
That's right. Yeah, we got a pretty good show on deck. I'm pretty excited for this one.
Me too. I couldn't find a can of Libby's at Publix the other day. Also, I got to share this. They gave us some tainted collagen peptides, and that was not cool for the Arizona State podcast.
Why are they selling that? Why are they doing that?
I don't know if Florida was underwater for a reason, and this is false start.
Very fair, very fair.
It had like brown spots in there. I'm like, does this stuff oxidize?
Does it have moles? What is happening?
Are you trying to kill my fiance? I can't get another one. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, if the NC State podcast ever goes anywhere, God, knock on wood, don't want that to happen at all. But if the NC State podcast ever anywhere, I'm bachelor life for the rest of my life. There's no way.
It's I mean we've all got frisbees somewhere and we can all know how to make hamburger helper, and that's dishwasher safe, right?
That's right, 100%.
And I wonder if that's how Mel Kiper Jr. eats his pumpkin pie filling on a frisbee. I don't know. He's an interesting individual. And on that note, let's get started with our first and 15 today with a slice of pumpkin pie. Earlier this week, you did your pre-combine NFL mock draft for 2026. You're gonna get me excited for this. The Falcons don't have a first round pick because we're stupid. And I don't know if this is a really great draft, but there's gonna be some good players in it for sure.
No, 100%. And, I tried to appease Falcons fans and Packers fans and Colts fans and Jags fans because I went full 3 rounds on this. So 100 picks. So there are some Falcons selections in this thing. So that's good for you.
Yes, Cody went full bore here, and I guess what we're gonna do is just kind of break it down, top 32 picks four at a time.
Mhm.
I live my life a quarter a mile at a time. I live my life point nine tenths, 900ths of a mile at a time, like I'm Corey Long.
That's right.
Sam Ferris was like bragging about jogging, 4 miles, and Corey's like, yeah, I did that once, meaning I drove 3.91 and I ran the last 900s.
Oh God. It's like The Office when they do the fun run and like half the office shows up at the finish line in a taxi.
I think it breaks down to like 475.2 feet. I think it's that point two that determines if you live or not versus a snake.
That's right.
And on that note, let's move on to the first four picks here. Again, I'm flying blind. I don't really know what Cody did, so this is gonna be great. First pick, you got Fernando Mendoza going to the Las Vegas Raiders out of Indiana. Duh. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, 100%.
The only thing is, I think it's going to work for him. I think his personality is just so damn infectious.
Mhm.
You've got Ashton Genty, you've got Brock Bowers, you got Tom Brady in your ear, you got John Spytek, and then you've got the troll doll that is Mark Davis. I'm pulling for him, man. I'm pulling so hard for him, man.
No, 100%. And like I think if you're the Raiders, like you're smart to hold on to this. You're smart to invest in him and like you have pieces of like this isn't a completely barren roster. It's not a good roster by any stretch, but it's not a barren roster.
No, and I am super glad he got there at number two. The one player in this draft that's not going to bust. I got the New York Jets taking Miami edge rusher Rueben Bain Jr. Guy's phenomenal. Guy is just like kind of reminds me of Javon Curse a little bit. Just an absolute freak.
Yeah, you said the reason I have the Jets taking him at number two. I think like if you're the Jets, obviously had Dante Moore been in this draft, you're taking Dante Moore in the spot. You don't have a quarterback. You're not taking Ty Simpson at number two. You're probably not even taking him at 16, quite frankly. And so, like, if you're sitting there at number two, take the guy that you think is a sure thing. Because you want to talk about a barren roster. This is a barren roster.
It's
And
just
you need a damn good football player. And I'm very confident Ruben Bay Jr. is going to be that.
watch them take his teammate Francis Mauigoa and just have two bookend tackles and beat the Browns or some nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
At three, you got the Saints trading up with the Cardinals, and they're going to get Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey. Monty Ossenfort loves players like this. I'm a big but he's not drafting him. The Saints are. And this sucks, and I'm mad.
Sorry, man. So
It's a good
there,
pick for the Saints, though.
yeah, I mean, there's two things I thought about with the Saints here. One, we know that this regime likes to get aggressive, and this is obviously an aggressive move on their part. But this is also a like everyone wants to talk about building around Tyler Shuck. This is a defense that's old as dirt, man. And like you
Yeah.
need someone like David Bailey to come in there and kind of like fill the shoes of Cam Jordan for the future.
Yeah, the Saints played pretty well down the stretch. I mean, they didn't lose, they didn't beat the Falcons at either point, but like they showed signs of promise. I don't think they're going to finish in last next year.
No, 100%.
Might be us. That's okay. And then so your trade, you got the Saints getting the 3 pick, got Arizona picking up 8, 132, and a 2027 second round pick. So Cardinals getting a lot of picks for a new GM that's going to probably be taking over for Osborne because it's not going to go good.
No, it's most likely not.
And then at 4, you got the Titans taking Ohio State linebacker Arvell Reese. What is really important to me is he bald? Because the Titans are a bunch of balds who are out of control. I don't know if you saw their coaching staff; they don't have any hair.
Robert Saleh definitely made some choices, that's for sure. And he did
Yeah,
not want to be hair shamed over this thing.
I don't know what Arvell Reese's nickname, but it might as well be Big.
Apparently it's Vel. He showed up at the combine and his name tag just said Vel Reese, so I don't know what that's all about. But Arvo Reese is a damn good player. And like I think as the draft process goes along, we're gonna see his stock sort of fall a little bit just because he has like a hybrid position. I think he's hybrid in the way like I'm not saying he is Micah Parsons, but he's hybrid in the way Micah Parsons was in that he's gonna be good no matter where you put him. I think he's just a damn good football player.
Yeah, there's like a linebacker like that every draft. Last year it was Jalen Walker. It was
Mhm.
Micah Parsons years before. He's cut it from that cloth. I think it's a good pick for the Titans, who are not going to be any good at all. That's okay.
No, and much like the Jets, just get a good player on your football team.
At number 5, we've got you get the Giants taking Reese's teammate Carnell Tate. Um, that's why you're the Giants, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't. If I was the Giants, this would not be the pick I would
No,
make. But with the excitement around Jackson Dart, I think it's the pick I expect the Giants to make.
and I think that's fair. I'll unpack that a little bit more.
Carnell Tate's
That's
a good
it.
player, to be clear. I don't think it's
Hmm.
like I'm not trying to, crap on Carnell Tate here. It's just
No, no, no.
you got a lot more needs if you're the Giants than another wide receiver.
I'm not convinced the John Harbaugh era is going to work in New York. I think it's actually going to be a disaster.
I tend to lean that way as well. I mean, you retain Joe Shane, who is more the problem than Brian Daboll was.
And also, like, I think he just doesn't know college players. I think, like, if you're Jesse Minter, that kind of works in your favor. Honestly, if you're the Browns, Monken has some ties to college, and you'll be
Yeah.
able to draft pretty well. I don't think the Giants, Joe Shane's, yeah, this is going to be just old toothpaste. And then at 6, you got the Browns taking Ruben Bain Jr.'s teammate Francis Mauigoa. It seems as though the Browns are going to take an offensive lineman either at 6 or at 24 from the Jaguars. Mauigoa is the best offensive tackle in this draft prospect. I think he's a little bit young, so that's something to be concerned about, but upside's tremendous.
No, I love Maui Goa. Like I just think he, in terms of like what you're looking for from a tackle, I think he checks every box. And spoiler alert, the Browns don't have to decide. They take two tackles in this first round. So I mean, they're about to lose all five starting offensive linemen from last year. So you gotta replenish that somehow.
Yeah, what's his name? Mel Kiper Jr. said that like, yeah, they don't have anybody up front anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like you got someone's got to block.
We got a third Ohio State player coming off the board at 7 with safety Caleb Downs going to the Commanders. I think he's the best player in this draft. But I think it just really depends on where he goes. Dan Quinn will make it work with him, but honestly, Dan Quinn's got to win this year. He's gone.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, Downs is a win now type of player. It's not a premium position, but he's really effing good at football, man. And like, if he wasn't a safety, he'd be a top five pick in this draft.
100%. And then moving down to 8 with the trade that the Cardinals made with the Saints, you got the Cardinals taking an offensive tackle, Spencer Fano out of Utah. This is a guy who's probably been what OT2 on most boards. He's been a consistently top player. As it was is the case with any sort of line meet out of Utah, it's hit or miss. And maybe
Yeah.
this will work.
No, I'm a big fan of Fano. Some people have him above Maui Goa. I'm definitely not there just because I think the upside with Maui Goa is a little bit better. But this is also why I had why I think the Cardinals could be interested in trading down. I think they're in the market for an offensive tackle. I'm not sure I'd take either of these offensive tackles as with a top five pick. I think they're more top 10 to 15 types of talents. And so if you're the Cardinals, if you're potentially like mulling the idea of trading Kyler Murray, reinvest, keep investing in the offensive line, build that infrastructure, and get more draft capital along the way.
All right, in an attempt to speed this up, I'm going to read two off
Yeah,
for the rest of this top 16, and then four at a time for the other ones, and then the
100%.
rest. Yes. Okay. At nine, you've got the Chiefs taking Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. Love that. And then at 10, you've got the fourth Ohio State player coming off the board with the Cincinnati Bengals taking linebacker Sonny Styles. The Chiefs are going to take Love. And he's going to be good. I don't like the Chiefs are going to be good. So that's good for them, I
Yeah, I
guess.
mean, the thing that like the dirty secret about the Chiefs is that their run game has been lacking. Pacheco post injury just hasn't been the same player. They gave Kareem Hunt a lot of work last year for a team that was supposed to be good, and Jeremiah Love's infinitely better than both of them.
And I'll share my thoughts on Styles a little bit later. Maybe he's Sonny Harry Styles. Sonny Harry Styles.
Yeah, the quick line I have on Styles is I think he's closer to Arvell Reese than people want to give him credit for in terms of his versatility, but I also think he could be a damn good linebacker as well.
Also, his dad's name is Lorenzo Styles. That is a hell of a name. God, that is awesome, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Sounds like he plays bass and chic, but that's okay.
100%.
All right. At 11, you've got the Miami Dolphins taking LSU cornerback Mansour Delane. I think this guy is just this might be if anybody's going to be a Pro Bowler year one, this is him.
Yeah, I like that.
Even though the Dolphins are going to be hellacious ass.
Oh, so bad. So very bad.
I think they're the worst team in football next year going away. It's not close.
Just mulling, like trying to go through and make sure there's not, I mean, they're definitely in the conversation.
hmm I'm usually sort of wrong about that, but that's okay. And then at 12, your Cowboys taking Texas A&M edge Cassius Howell. It seems like hand and glove there. I feel like that works pretty good. And I think Shoddy's gonna be like, just do what you want to do, man. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
100%.
Just basically like Micah Parsons without Micah Parsons' personality. It's great.
We love that. Yeah, Micah Parsons' personality is a lot.
All right, 13, you've got the Rams with the Falcons pick taking Tennessee cornerback Jermon McCoy. They can afford to do that. I think he's just incredibly injury prone, but the upside's there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play at all in 2025, torn ACL, but 2024, he was really damn good, and the Rams are picking from a position of luxury. Like their own pick is the 29th in the draft.
Yeah.
They don't have like glaring needs. They can build for the future.
Get the Ravens taking USC wide receiver Mekhi Lemon. And I'll be okay with this just because John Harbaugh is not coaching the Ravens anymore. So maybe this will be good.
I mean, they've taken a lot of bites at the apple in terms of wide receivers and missed quite a bit. So, got to take another one.
Uh, they're bobbing for apples in a bath. They're just drinking bath water there.
100%. 100%.
All right, rounding the top half of the first half, you get the Buccaneers taking Auburn edge Keldrick Falk. Auburn had talent, didn't have a good head coach, and then the Jets via the Colts. Was that a trade you have them making
No,
here?
that's the Sauce Gardner trade.
Okay, it's a Sauce Gardner trade from the Colts. You're getting Avion Terrell, whose older brother AJ Terrell is the star cornerback for the Falcons. He's going to be good, and this will work out. You're replacing Sauce Gardner with someone else.
Poetry, baby. You gotta
Yeah,
get a little poetry in there. But I mean, if you're the Jets and you're Aaron Glenn, like I think I think the writing should be on the wall that you're probably going to invest in defense this offseason. So there we go.
at 17, uh, the Lions taking Alabama offensive lineman Caden Proctor. I'm going to be mean here. I wouldn't be shocked if he retires before the end of his first contract. I don't think he's about it. I think he's soft as hell.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong. However, in terms of body type and pedigree,
Yeah,
he is
they
a
need
Dan
him.
Campbell pick.
hmm Yeah, and it's that's a pick the Lions are going to make. They need that. They need that type of player. If you can convince him to make it work, great. I'm dubious if I don't think he's got a long career.
He's not my favorite prospect, but he just feels like a Lions pick.
And then at 18, the Vikings are taking Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're going to also suck next year.
They're not going to be great, but in terms of drafting, this does make sense. Like Harrison Smith's 100 years old, and
Yeah.
you really need to get younger in that defensive back room.
The interim GM is like Brzezinski, I think is his name.
Yeah, and to be clear about McNeil Warren, out of Toledo, not a huge name in this draft class by any stretch. I would probably like in terms of how I would evaluate him, I would say he would be more of a late first round talent, like talking in more like the late 20s, early 30s. But physically, he is going to compare very much so to Nicky Manwuri, who the Seahawks got in the second round. And I think he's going to be the
Right.
overreaction in this year's draft to that.
I think that's fair. All right, 19, you got the Panthers taking Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. They hit with Ted McMillan or Tete McMillan. He apparently hates being called Ted, but you got to get
Yeah.
Bryce Young some weapons. Maybe you need to get him an offensive lineman. I don't know. The Panthers got to get more talented to sustain the division because the Saints are coming, the Bucks aren't fading away, and maybe Atlanta finds a nut somewhere. And then
Yeah.
yeah. Then you got the Chiefs via Dallas from Green Bay, getting a Clemson edge, TJ Parker. Maybe he'll be better than he was at Clemson because it was like a lot of I wanted Clemson to be better. They just had a lot of guys who didn't tap into any potential. Feels very Mark Rick Georgia to me right now.
Yeah, so this is a big trade that I had in the mock draft. I have the Cowboys trading for Trent McDuffie with the 20th pick, and because
Okay, there we go.
yeah, and so I have them trading the 20th pick for Trent McDuffie, getting a day three pick in return as well. And Kansas City needs more on defense. Like I think people are going to because Mahomes is who he is, and like because of the spotlight that's on that offense, the defense is skating by not performing as well as they have in years past. And the biggest thing to me is the pass rush. And I think TJ Parker at this space in the draft is the type of guy that if he hits could absolutely like reinvigorate the pass rush.
And I blame Taylor Swift for traffic being down all across the board, and this is false start. Moving on to 21, I get the Steelers taking Washington wide receiver Denzel Boston. I don't see a quarterback here, so good luck with that, Mike McCarthy. I think Boston's good though.
Yeah, no, I think Boston's just a really good football player, man.
Yeah, the Steelers are not going to win 9 games next year.
No, God, no.
No, no, they're not doing that. Got the Chargers drafting
He goes by Vega if you want to go Vega.
Vega Ione out of Penn State. Maybe this will make Justin Herbert actually live up to the hype. But 0 sacks last 2 seasons out of Penn State. We'll see. I think Jim Harbaugh knows what he's looking at in the Big Ten. So maybe this is one of those building blocks gets the Chargers kind of sort of maybe almost might thinking about getting over the top.
I mean, they'll make the playoffs. After that, God knows what.
Godspeed. All right, 23 at the Eagles taking Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq. I feel like they always have tight ends. They kind of know what they're doing at this position. So does Howie Roseman. I like this one.
It brings me no joy to make that
No, it
pick, but
doesn't. No, no, not even one little bit. And then the Browns with their second first round pick. This comes from the Jaguars with the Travis Hunter trade. They get an offensive lineman out of Utah, Caleb Lamu. Do they get back to back two Utah guys?
no, they
Now we go.
the
Yeah.
Cardinals got Fanu. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna rebuild their whole offensive line. So out of for sure, Sanders or Carson back to play quarterback. That's gonna be great.
100%. Don't worry, that's later in
That's
this
later
mock
draft.
draft.
All right, 25. You get the Bears taking Clemson defensive lineman Peter Woods. This feels like a safe pick. Feels like this is one of those ones where like he falls into you, just go for it.
Yeah, I think Peter Woods is better than the 25th pick in the draft, but to your point, I think TJ Parker is better than that as well. It's just a really bad year for Clemson. I think shit just hit the fan, quite frankly.
And I think that's fair. I'm really happy with who you have at 26. You got the Buffalo Bills taking Miami edge rusher Akeem Mesidor. I don't care if he's older than dirt. He's going to be great for them for 4 years, and then his body's going to betray him, and he's going to hang drywall. But this guy's going to be awesome for the Bills.
Hey, you know what you need right now? Someone who can rush the passer and stop the run. You know what Akeem Mesidor does? Stop the run and rush the passer. Like, just get him on the defense, man.
It's so dumb. Like he's a first round talent. He's good. It's instant production.
I mean, like, I understand that he's very old. If he wasn't very old, he would be a top 10 pick.
Absolutely. Yeah. Miami's getting 3 guys in the first round. 27, you got the 49ers taking Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. They want a wide receiver, and John Lynch gets to kind of operate with no consequence. If Cooper has a really good combine pro day, maybe this happens. I think this is a huge reach for the 49ers.
So what I heard Todd McShay, I believe it was, compare Omar Cooper Jr. to Jarvis Landry, and I can't get that out of my head. And when I think about where the 49ers are offensively, like George Kittle might not be ready to start the year coming off an Achilles injury. You're about to lose Ayuk. You're probably going to lose Jawan Jennings. It means you got Ricky Pearsall as like your wide receiver one. You need someone who's going to be targeted 130 times a season, and I think Omar Cooper Jr. can be that guy.
If you had an opportunity, if you're in a car with Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall, like you would want to stab yourself in the ear so you wouldn't have to hear Brandon Ayuk talk, and then the car flips over and Ricky Pearsall doesn't just he's driving, he leaves the car.
He's the bionic man.
The man is like more tan than Bachwood's man, dude.
But somehow, like, not even making light of this, it's wild that he's injury prone when he survived a gunshot wound. Like, that's wild.
Guy's a legend, I guess.
Yeah, like the lore is crazy.
The lore is crazy. At 28, you've got the Houston Texans taking my dog, Monroe Freeling, out of Georgia. This is all about upside. This is the place he needs to go. He needs to go somewhere where the team's good and it's kind of ready-made. If he goes to Cleveland, he may get exposed. It makes sense for him to turn pro. This is a weak tackle class. It's kind of a weak draft across the board. I write about this all the time for Dawn of the Dog. This is where I hope he goes.
Yeah, I like this a lot. And like I also think that the best part about him going to the Texans is the Texans aren't afraid to like shuffle pieces. And so
Right.
like they're not gonna like shoehorn him and be like, hey, you're our franchise left tackle. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna be like, where is he fitting best? And that's where we're gonna put him. So like it's a soft landing spot in that regard as well.
How would you like to be a 6'7" guard?
That's right, baby.
That's Michael Jordan, right?
He's 6'6". I can tell you that with certainty.
Kyle Korver 6'7". There we go.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. All right, at 29, you get the LA Rams taking Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. I think this is great. I think he has tremendous success there. Backs up Stafford for about 2 more years, and then he hits the ground running, and just the Rams don't bottom out like I think they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to develop than behind Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay? Seems like a pretty good spot.
Yeah, like because Ty Simpson's kind of like Matthew Stafford light.
Yeah, a lot of talent and maybe needs some help between the ears.
He's Ty, not Tyler. I don't even know. Tiberius Simpson.
That's what we're calling him from now on for sure.
I bet I'll save it for later. At 30, you got the Denver Broncos taking my other dog, CJ Allen at linebacker. Guy's productive. I know that like linebacker is a depreciated position, but the Broncos need somebody like this. I've seen Allen come off the board potentially as high as the 15 to the Buccaneers.
Mhm.
He's going to go in the first round as long as his medicals are good.
No, 100%. And like he's an interesting eval just because like he's very hit or miss in terms of like play to play and like all the talent in the world, but like sometimes he's in coverage and it's very clear he doesn't not know what he's doing. And so like he's very much a ball of clay. I want a ball of clay working with Vance Joseph on a defense that's really damn good.
Absolutely. At 31, I love this. You got Oklahoma pass rusher Mason Thomas going to the Patriots. Mike Vrabel took one look at him limping down the sidelines. He's like, I want that in my team, brother.
100%, man. Like Vrabel and this dude are going to be two peas in a pod.
What game was that against for OU? I forget who they were. Was that Bama maybe the first time?
Yeah, I think it was first Bama game. I think you're right.
I was like, who the hell is this? This is amazing.
That's a guy.
And then the Seahawks got a cornerback, Brandon. Uh,
I think it's Cisse.
Good. I was going to say Sissy. But that's do whatever you want, Seattle. This works. Defense, I trust Mike McDonald and John Schneider. They're just running laps around all of us with the most anonymously good team of all time.
Oh yeah. Brandon also just keep an eye on Brandon Cisse at the combine. Dude's a freak. He's the fastest kid alive. He's so good.
I'm trying to think. So my favorite, you kind of do this based on like what you think is going to happen. Which is your favorite pick, and which one kind of you're like, I don't like this.
Well, I'll start with don't like this, and it's because I don't like the prospect that much. Keldrick Falk, I think, is fool's gold. He's super talented, but he's also a 285-pound edge who had like I think 3 sacks last year. Like, brother, if you're this much of a freak, I don't care who your coach is, you should be producing more than that. And like, this isn't a TJ Parker where in 2024 we saw him produce, a Peter Woods where we saw him produce. He's never produced at the college level. And like, he feels like the token guy who's going to come into this draft class and people are going to get overly enamored with the build and the athleticism, but not the like overlook the fact that he might not be that good of a football player.
You smell that? That's Shamar Stewart taking a dump in your bed.
Yeah, I truly like that's what it feels like.
I've already mentioned this. I don't really like care for Caden Proctor, the Lions at 17, and I think Carnell Tate at to the Giants at 5 is a reach. But my favorite one that you got on there, try to think which one is honestly like Jeremiah Love to the Chiefs. Just it just kind of works for me.
Yeah, no, I Jeremiah Love to the Chiefs, like it's gonna be mocked until I find like until there's intel otherwise, which I don't think
Yeah.
there's gonna be because it just makes a ton of sense.
Well, we had that last year. It was like what Mason Graham's going to the Jaguars and Jihad Campbell's going to the Bucks, and that didn't happen.
Right, 100%. Like things change in the draft cycle, and like the Chiefs could surprise, and like you don't know how the board's gonna fall. I will say, like if someone like a David Bailey or Ruben Bain were to fall to the ninth pick, I would take them over Jeremiah Love if I'm the Chiefs,
Absolutely.
100%. But
Yeah.
like I don't like I there's no world in which I think that should happen where those guys fall to the ninth pick. So if we're living in that world, then Jeremiah Love is the best player available.
But we're living in this world. Let's
Yeah,
let's move on to our next topic here with some Du Hast.
let's do it, baby.
I saw in your mock draft, I saw in Mel Kiper Jr.'s draft. You both have four Ohio State players going in the top 10. So Du Hast, does that happen? For the record, people at home, you've got Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, and
Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate. There you go. I can't remember them all.
No, you're good. I'm gonna go a soft Duhas 1S. And I think that more so than I honestly, I think it comes down to Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. I think there's a chance that one of them could not be taken in the top 10. In Caleb Downs' case, I think that would be an egregious error because I think he's very clearly a top five player in this draft. He just plays safety, and we don't see safeties drafted this high. The last time we saw it was probably Jamal Adams, and that aged very poorly. Like it was great early on, and it aged poorly pretty quickly. And so like I don't think Caleb Downs is Jamal Adams. I think Caleb Downs is a better overall player than Jamal Adams. But like I look at Caleb Downs and I just think the positional valuation and same with Sonny Styles. He's a linebacker. And yes, I think he has versatility more in the vein of Arvell Reese than he gets credit for, but he's also probably going to be more of a traditional stand-up linebacker. Do you take that in the top 10? If I'm the Bengals, absolutely I do because God, the Bengals just need anyone who knows how to play defense. But like they're also the Bengals, and I could see them doing something extremely stupid. So, like, yeah, if I'm relying on the Bengals to do the smart thing, then maybe there's a chance it doesn't happen.
They'll trade up with the Giants to get Carnell Tate.
Jesus.
Also, the fact you're comparing like Downs to like Jamal Adams, I'm just gonna bite my tongue. I've got thoughts about Jamal Adams that'll stay up the air.
No, I'm just talking in terms of like
Yeah.
valuation.
Right. Totally. Anyway, I'm gonna go do Haas two S's. I think two are for sure gonna go in the top 10. Arvell Reese is the surest lock of all of them. And I would probably argue Downs is there just because people would be like, let's not outthink the room. This is the best player. I'm dubious of Styles, and I'm kind of quite dubious on Tate.
I mean, I would love to be wrong for this and for Sonny Styles to fall to the Dallas Cowboys at number 12 because I think he fits like a glove there. Like the Cowboys are in a good spot. They have a lot of options, so like I'm not like upset, but like Sonny Styles would be who I would prefer.
Yes, I think Styles, you're really going to ask two linebackers to go in the top 10. Like, what is this, 1985?
Right, 100%.
Because they were like matching cowboy colors.
That'd be
They're
sick. Let's be clear. Like I'm down for that.
like the Sedin twins. Like, we just get drafted together.
We're interviewing as a team.
Or the male inseparables who went from Montgomery to Alabama to Ohio State. That's going to be, I mean, OJ Simpson had a friend like that too, and he drove the car.
Who's driving the white Bronco between these two?
I think Quay Russell probably is, and Arvell Reese. I feel like Sunny Styles is definitely the passenger princess.
100%.
I think it's because it's the position for those two,
Yeah.
and I think with Tate, honestly, I like Jordan Tyson more.
So I didn't elaborate on this when we were going through the mock draft. I have Tyson as like if we're just talking about film and what they're capable of doing, I have him as wide receiver one above Lemon and Tate. Um, the medicals are sketchy. He's been hurt the past 2 years and missed time both in both years. And teams at wide receiver are not going to, especially when you're talking about, Carnell Tate, who did have some injuries this year, but it's not like injury prone. He's been healthy throughout 4 years of college, mostly. And then someone like Makai Lemon, who gets his ass kicked a lot and still pops back up and doesn't miss time. Like, I think that teams are going to value that more. But in terms of talent, I have Tyson ahead of those guys. I also think that more importantly, why I think Tate is more sure to be picked in the top 10 is you look at this draft and you mentioned it, it's not the best draft class overall,
No.
especially comparatively to previous years. And specifically comparing it to next year, which is going to be ridiculous. But I do think that one of the areas of strength of this class is at the wide receiver position. And so I think that Tate, Lemon, and Tyson are three of the best players that are going to go in the first round in terms of overall value. So I think that if Tate is deemed the number one wide receiver, he's going to go very early.
I was sitting here going to ask you, like, what's like the best position groups? I think it's probably edge this year. That seems
Yeah,
to be the best. Linebacker is really strong too, but that's a not as valued of a position. I think there's a lot of depth along the offensive line. I don't know if there's really any super high end guys.
man, the second
Maybe,
round is tough for offensive linemen.
and then it's just tough for quarterbacks, tough for running backs. It's just
hmm Yeah,
tough, man.
the top two running backs both went to Notre Dame. It's Jeremiah Love and Jadaria Price.
Oh man, that's something there. And on that, let's get back into college because that was slightly depressing. And anyway, that's the wrong tab, and we're moving on to the next tab because clearly we do more than shoot hoops and turn left.
Damn right we do.
Five best and five worst head coaches in the ACC, part three of a four-part series. It's not a trilogy; it's a quadrilogy, if that's the word. Quadrophenia.
I have no idea.
I don't know, man.
I'm not even gonna try.
There's four members of the Who, so that's what I know. This would be the John Entwistle of the Who, I guess. The heart.
There we go. It's the quad box. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Who's the fifth best head coach in the ACC, Cody?
I have Manny Diaz as my number five.
Same.
Oh, nice. Okay. And like, I understand that his accomplishments so far at Duke aren't necessarily like overwhelming or anything, but he's won already consistently at Duke, and some of that was with the help of what Mike Elko did before him. But he's also had to adjust and adapt with NIL because let's be clear, Duke is still kind of like a feeding ground for the transfer portal. It's not necessarily like a destination at this point. And so you lose Darian Mensah this offseason. I'm interested to see what happens after losing Darian Mensah, but like I think Manny Diaz deserves a lot more credit than he gets as a head coach.
I believe they got San Jose State a transfer, Walker Eget coming in. He played a lot, so he's
Again, we'll see
he's
what happens.
he's been dealing with a lot of quarterbacks. He didn't have Riley Leonard. He had Malik Murphy for a year, had Jerry Minster for a year, and yeah, but I think he kind of got a raw deal at Miami a little
Mhm.
bit, and I think his departure from Penn State was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back a little bit.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
And look, do I think Duke's ever going to win a playoff game? No, but if they repeat, they're making the playoff next year, and
Yeah.
this is the best run of Duke football I think you and I can ever remember. They're a top 6, 7 program. I wouldn't be shocked if they repeated. They're not going to, but they could.
No, and like again, I always factor in like degree of difficulty. And like in terms of degree of difficulty, he's doing a damn good job to have them in that conversation.
Hell yeah. Who do you have it for?
I might be lower on this than you. I have Dabo at number four.
And I have Dabo at 3.
Okay. And I don't think Dabo Sweeney like forgot how to coach a football team. Like I think in terms of building a locker room, I think in terms of building a culture and like being a CEO type, I think Dabo Sweeney still knows what he's doing in terms of that. I think that this era of college football does not fit Dabo Sweeney. And I think that he also whiffed on Cade Klubnik and like was tied to him in a way where it was kind of inextricable and that hurt his stock quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Kirk Ferentz, like, I mean, how many coaches have been around longer than him? I mean, he's
Hmm
been there since what, 2011. He is a CEO type. He's a wide receivers coach. He
Yeah.
doesn't call plays. I think coaching attrition's kicked his ass like Ed Henry because, not having Tony Elliott or Brent Venables around doesn't help.
No,
Um,
God, no.
um, but it's hard to overlook the run from like 15 to 20. Clemson was probably the best team in college football outside of Alabama, if not
Yeah.
right up there.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's They're gonna be okay. But it's hard to like.
They're
Are
not
they
going to
get
bottom out with Debo. Like I truly
no?
believe that. Like what we saw this past year, where they were still like not good but fine. Like that's bottoming out for Dabo Sweeney because I do think he is that good of a football coach.
See, that's kind of I've got him at three. At four, I've got Jeff Brom.
That's who I have at three. So yeah, we just swapped those two.
Yes. We may have this. We may have the same two coaches top two, maybe in different order, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, I'll say this with Jeff Brom. Like he took Purdue to a Big Ten championship. He took Louisville to a big SEC, ACC championship, whatever league they play in. People don't do that.
No.
I think very gifted with offensive play calling. He did something that's impossible. He made Louisville likable.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like to the conversation about like Dabo Sweeney having a high floor, I think the best thing I can say about Jeff Brom is like if Jeff Brom's your head coach, you're never going to be bad. Like
Yeah.
just no matter what the talent level looks like, you're not going to be bad because
I,
go ahead, go ahead.
I know Michigan was courting him a little bit, but it's hard to pull a guy away from his alma mater. They got a good coach in Kyle Whittingham. It's who we'll talk about here in a little bit, but you know, I don't like Louisville's like Duke. I don't think they're ever going to win a playoff game, but they can win the ACC next year, and it wouldn't shock me.
No, 100%. I'm right there with you.
All right, and at two, I've got Brent Key.
I also have Brent Key at number two.
Yes, he's got Georgia Tech at a level essentially at zenith. Basically, he learned from Georgia Larry. This is the Georgia Tech you and I grew up with. Former lineman, got rid of that buffoon of the rain that is Jeff Collins. My concern is you don't have Buster Faulkner next year. You have George Godsey, who's a legend, but that's a very tough ask for him there on the flats. And you're 2 years removed from having Tyler Santucci. Last year was the year Georgia Tech needed to win the ACC. They didn't do it, but
Yeah,
he's a damn good coach.
he's a damn good coach. And I mean, like, I think this offseason told me a lot about Brent Key, I think. And like, not that I already didn't have a lot of respect for what he's already done at Georgia Tech, but like, you lose Haynes King and you go out and you get Bo Pribula.
Mhm.
Like, that tells me where this program is. Like, if Georgia Tech is investing in football to where they can go pay a Bo Pribula, I think it's probably in a pretty good spot. And that's a credit to Brent Key.
Wait, do they get Privila? I thought they got Alberto Mendoza. I think probably went to Virginia, but either way, they got some
You're
guy.
right. No, wait, I thought I could have sworn. You're right, 100%. I apologize. Either way, they paid up for a quarterback.
Yeah, and they don't want Chandler Morris, who still wants to come back to school.
So a lot of people go to school for 7 years.
I put this in the chat the other day, and it had everybody in stitches. It said like, if Chandler Morris wins his eligibility case, it will be one more win than his dad had as an SEC head coach at Arkansas.
Correct. That's correct.
Shout out a coaching nutrition with Clemson. And at number one, I got Mario Cristobal.
Yeah. Who else are we putting in number one, man?
I've I know I think he's just the ultimate CEO type. I think he just has two outstanding coordinators. I also think we didn't give him credit for how good he is at the podium because he is the master of ceremonies.
Hmm.
Recruits phenomenally. He's got this thing going, but we do have to expect, like Oregon this past year, you're going to lose your guys. I would be stunned if Heatherman's is going to be his defensive coordinator for another year after this.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, I would throw Shannon Dawson into that as well. Like
Yeah,
I think there's a chance that both of those guys are gone.
yeah. I don't know where they would go, but they're going to go somewhere.
100%. We'll
Uh,
talk about where they might go here in a bit.
Hell yeah, that makes a lot of sense here. So we have basically the same guys in the top five. Just for the record, who was your first guy off?
My first guy off, I I had like I think the middle ground of I honestly didn't rank past five because I thought the top five were so clear.
Yeah,
And like I didn't rank them top to bottom. I just went five best, five worst. And like I didn't have like I think that my four worst were the easiest, or my four worst and my five best were pretty clear to me. And
yeah.
picking my fifth worst was difficult. And I think that because like I think that middle ground is just I don't know. It feels like splitting hairs between them.
You could have just said Rhett Lashley. We could have moved on with it. That's okay. It's fine.
Eh,
And then we've got our bottom five for the record. I did not include Tosh Lapoy or Tavita Pritchard. They haven't done it yet, so I don't know yet. Maybe you did.
I included Tavita Pritchard.
And
I have too much respect for Tosh Lapoy.
all right. At number five, this did me. I don't know if I enjoyed this, but I got some questions. I went with North Carolina State head coach Dave Doran.
Ooh, okay, okay. I do not have him in my five
No, I
worst.
didn't think you I didn't think you would. So hear me out on this. We've talked about this ad nauseum. North Carolina State is the ACC version of Mizzou.
Hmm.
Whenever you believe they're going to be good, they disappoint. Whenever you don't pay attention to them, they do something cool. Doran's been in Raleigh for a very, very, very long time. And what exactly have you what do you do here? You're the Tom Szymanski of the ACC, man. Like everybody else who's been around a long time. I mean, Dabo's won national titles. Narduzzi won an ACC championship, had a Heisman finalist. Have you won an ACC Atlantic Division? What have you done? And I kind of believe firmly if you would give him like another coach that I think highly of, if you put Jake Dickert there, I think Jake Dickert would do more than he does.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Dave Doran because I still will maintain that NC State is not an easy place to win football games.
It's not.
And they've been pretty consistent. If I was to compare Dave Doran to someone, which isn't making my case for not having him in the five worst, to be clear, but he's very Mark Stoops-esque.
That's where I thought you were gonna go. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you got it elevating at a level above, but like where are the 10-win seasons occasionally? But that's
Yeah.
okay. All right, number five. Who do you have at number five?
This also brings me no joy because I think in my heart of hearts, I believe he's a good coach, but we do need to see it, especially after this past year, and that's Fran Brown. And
Yeah, I've got him. I've got him on this list too.
yeah, and like for me, it's just you came in hot at Syracuse, and last year was pretty rough to watch, man. And like I know a lot of things did not break his way, most notably Steve Angeli's body, but like I do think that like at a certain point is this just another Geno Babers? You know what I mean? Like, is
Yeah,
this just another instance where you caught fire early and then it's just going to fizzle out continuously for the rest of your tenure?
you made Neil Adler cry. Neil Adler's like the sweetest man who works in the simulated fish.
That's unforgivable.
No, no, it's the most positive person ever. And it's uh, so at I got number four. Let's see who I got. Number four is I got Tony Elliott
Oh, wow. I don't have Tony Elliott in here. So I have someone in here that you do not have it. Oh, I have Tavita Pritchard. That's what it is.
at four for you.
No, he's at three for me.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Tony Elliott, you did a lot with Virginia this past year. It's been a slow but steady climb. I know you did a phenomenal job dealing with the tragedy in 22 and everything like that. Part of me kind of wonders if maybe they found a secret sauce there with just like paying a lot of people, and maybe
Mhm.
you're benefiting from that. I think if you wouldn't have made this list if you won the ACC and made the playoff. You just couldn't do it. Like
Yeah.
ever did. And I feel like if you win again, I'll rest my case. But if you don't, that was a Dino Babers dead cat bounce.
No, and I definitely think that's fair. I view Fran Brown and Tony Elliott and honestly to some degree Dave Dorn and like a lot like when I'm talking about this mid-tier of or ACC coaches like kind of just being homogenous in my mind, it's because like they're all wildly inconsistent because they all coach at places that are not easy to win at. And like I would even throw Pat Narduzzi into this because like when Pitt's bad, Pitt's bad. Like
It's really
it
bad, yeah.
and like there's just wild oscillations and like Tony Elliott at this point after what we saw last year, I think very much could fall into that category.
All right, which one do you have next? Are you on four?
I'm on four, yeah. I have Mike Norvell at four. And I know I'm higher on Mike Norvell than you are. I know you have him most likely higher on this list. Um, I can't discount the fact that he did go undefeated and win the ACC. Like that did happen, not in like in recent memory. And like to that point, like I think that I'm willing to like credit him with that while acknowledging that as of right now, things are going really, really shittily. Like things are going in a really bad direction right now. You probably should have been fired. You probably shouldn't have a job based off what the past two seasons have been in Tallahassee. But I still do think that like if we're in the all things being equal, if we're putting coaches against one another, no other coach that I have below him has a 13-0 ACC championship season.
He's very much middle of the pack for me.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I had that. He did a great job there with the 2 years in a row with Florida State. You also won at Memphis at a
Mhm.
very high level, probably more so than anybody. I'm kind of the belief that I think Tallahassee's radioactive. More importantly, I think Doak Chernobyl Stadium is a terrifying place.
Absolutely, dude. The activity on the Geiger counter is off the charts.
I mean, would it shock if he walks into Greensboro with a goddamn elephant's foot? Who would be packing the heat and shoot that thing for scientific purposes? It's an ACC coach, Nard Dog.
Nard Dog or Bill Belichick out of senility.
He's like, I thought he was coming right for us.
Exactly.
Right. At three is where I've got Fran Brown.
Okay, okay, nice.
Steve Angeli, man. Like, if you would have
Mhm.
happened, that would have been cool. Ricky Collins, not so much. I think he recruited very well, and I had a more poignant thought here. There were other coaches out there like this who did not become a coordinator. And
Mhm.
when it hits the fan for you, and you're very loud and vocal, people turn on you very quickly. There's another Kirby Smart disciple this happened to. That's Shane Beamer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I hope it works out for him. But like, I think Kyle McCord is just a special college player that we didn't appreciate enough in real time.
Yeah.
It might be rough for Syracuse, but I think they'll probably be about like a bowl. They'll probably be like 6-6 this year. I think they'll kind of water will find its level.
Yeah, like in my heart, like I said, in my heart of hearts, I think Fran Brown is a good coach. It was just we're coming off last season and it was not pretty.
All right, who do you have at three?
At three is where I have Tavita Pritchard. And I'm actually hot like higher on the higher than you are in terms of like I think I can picture the way where this works for Stanford. At the same time, like when I look at Tavita Pritchard and I compare him to all these other guys, the lack of experience scares the absolute hell out of me. And like this feels like it feels like very like polar in terms of the outcomes. And like that worries me for someone with his lack of experience. And like those polar outcomes are this is what Stanford needs, and your ceiling's only but so high because you are at Stanford in the year of our Lord 2026, or you're going 0 and 12. And I think like those are the two outcomes. And like that's why I felt comfortable putting him here.
Where has he ever won anywhere?
That's what
Like,
I'm saying, man.
like Stanford was trash when he started, then Luck took over and they were good. And then you had that one good year with Jay Daniels to Washington. I don't know where you've kind of been between then. I
Where
wish you
you
the
like you
best.
weren't even in like the most elevated like offensive role. Like I maybe I'm overreaching here, but like it feels like Cliff Kingsbury had a lot more to do with that than Tavita Pritchard did.
I feel like it's a guy who happens to be in an elevator that's going to the penthouse floor. It's like, oh, you must be smart. You're in this elevator.
He forgot to hit his button where he was supposed to get off at like the 12th floor.
The mailroom. That's okay. All right, and I don't know. We may have the same two guys, top two, unfortunately.
I think we might. Yeah.
Two, I've got your guy, Bill Belichick,
Oh, we got him in a different order, brother, but that's probably just personal wounds. I've got Bill O'Brien at number two.
and I got Bill O'Brien at one, man.
Yeah.
Um, the shame in it all is these are good. We got the greatest NFL head coach of all time and a really good one in Bill O'Brien.
Really good. My point on Bill O'Brien is like I think he's just a better coordinator. Like I think when you at the end of the day, he is if you asked him to be a college offensive coordinator anywhere in America, I think he would succeed. You're asking him to be a head coach at one of the hardest jobs in the country, it's probably not going to work out that well for you.
Whenever he does well, it's like a stock in the market. Like people panic and it sells, and it takes forever to go back up.
Yeah.
That's Bill O'Brien. So you kind of did some good stuff there with Bryce Young and Penn State and the Texans and everything like that. People are like, yeah, well, you're still butt chin Bill.
That's right, man. And I mean, he doesn't help himself because he's not exactly like the most endearing
No,
personality.
I think that's part of it too. He's kind of a masshole a little bit
Yeah,
too.
100%.
And then Belichick became an asshole.
Dude, Belichick, like, again, I have him at one, and it's probably very personal on my end, but like, my God, like, what? It could not have gone worse year one. It could, like, truly, no way it could have gone worse. Like, I said when he was hired, and I want, like, not try to pat myself on the back, but I was like, there's no way this team is like middling. There's no way this team goes 6-6 and gets into a bowl game. It's either going to work or it's going to be an abject disaster. And by God, we're in abject disaster territory.
We're at Doak Chernobyl Stadium or Chernobyl Hill, I guess. Uh,
That's Chernobyl Keenan.
put the memories in memorial there. Anyway, I just say I think it ends for him this year. I think he resigns like three quarters of the way through the season, and then you go out there and you're gonna who do you want to be the next head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels?
And honestly, at this point, you or me, like I don't care. Like not Bill Belichick is my answer.
I don't think you want Arthur Smith either. You've said that you don't want that. I think
I
you do a
don't.
better job.
I no, I don't think Arthur Smith would necessarily be a bad coach. I just don't want to have to deal with Arthur Smith more in my life than I have to.
Yeah, it's not fun. North Carolina guy, we just need can we just clone Fernando Mendoza? He coaches.
Honestly, you know who I think would be a interesting head coaching hire, especially, and it's someone who is on the hot seat. Shane Beamer would be very interesting at North Carolina.
I think that'd be cool. He would be yeah, he'd be Ramses out there just starting
A hundred
stuff. It'd be cool.
percent.
Trying to alpha Hubert Davis in the coaches meeting.
He's like a foot shorter than Hubert Davis.
I mean, I bet he was like a 5'10" like wide receiver. Hubert Davis played in the NBA.
Just looking up
Also,
at him, he's like, "You're gonna call me daddy now."
so I got to share this. I was writing something for Kane's Warning about the Miami win. They beat Florida State, and then
Mhm.
they dapped up a Florida State recruit. The players went over there and just did it. I'm like, that is so awesome. Like Luke Lokes is just living. John Lucas is like on fire right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Miami basketball's back, dude.
Miami basketball when it's good is a ton of fun. Honestly,
Yeah.
Miami at any sport when it's good is a ton of fun.
So it's like looking at this, and I'm like, are they going to really be able to like improve their seating? And I looked at this. I kid you not, their home game versus Boston College is a quad four game. Like, I didn't think you could play a conference foe that would be quad four. Like, I didn't think that was possible.
Boston College athletics, breaking stereotypes day in and day out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who's like the worst basketball team in the SEC. I mean, it was Oklahoma, maybe it's South Carolina, but Oklahoma beat Georgia. Like these teams have like some fight to it.
Yeah, they have like some level of competence. Boston College does not.
Also, Northwestern beat Indiana. Indiana is not making the tournament. That is the paper tigers up there, man. They're turning on Darian Tucker DeVries. They're gonna tar and feather them. They're gonna roll them out of town like that ball for William Henry Harrison in 1840.
You're a football school now, man. What do you want?
Yeah, yeah, I know. So that's what we got there for the coaches. And who do you think is going to shoot up the most this year from where you have rankings? Like we can talk. I'll probably put that in the comment after this show goes live.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the comments. I'll even hop in there and give some commentary.
Cool. And on that note, I got hair and you got hair. Let's do some Goldilocks with
Hell yeah, baby.
Joel Klatt. Where are you at? His top 10 head coaches in college football. We're going to do too hot, too cold, just right. I put them all somewhere. I've got three hot, three too cold, three just right, and I'll rattle off who he has in his thing. Yeah, it's Kurt Cignetti at one, Ryan Day at two, Kirby Smart three, Dan Lanning four, Marcus Freeman five, Steve Sarkisian six, Kyle Whittingham seven, Kalani Sitake eight, Mario Cristobal nine, and Lane Kiffin at 10. Who is Joel Klatt too hot on?
I hate to say it, but it's Kurt Cignetti.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I think Kurt Cignetti should be two. I don't think and like this spoils the too cold, but like there's no way you should be ahead of Kirby Smart. There's just no planet on earth where that is the case. The track record isn't as long of success, of national level success. And like again, I don't think Kurt Cignetti and Indiana are going anywhere, but I do need to see it before I'm ready to put him at number one in the country.
I had him at just right because, like, you know what? You could argue that. I don't think it's right, but it's fair. Ryan Day at two is insane.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
When we say the three best head coaches in college football, it's these three guys, and the third one's obviously reserved for Ryan Day
Yeah,
because he
100%.
was born on third base.
Third base, baby. It's Rafael Devers. I play third.
I play third, brother. All right. Anybody else you think that Joe Klatt's too hot on?
Dan Lanning at four. It does not compute for me. Okay. I understand that Sark hasn't gotten over the hump yet. I understand that Marcus Freeman has not won a national championship. You know what both of those have done that Dan Lanning has not? Played in a college football playoff semifinal or played in a college football playoff national championship game. Like all things equal, these programs are probably on the same like level playing field. And two coaches have been further than Dan Lanning. And they're ranked behind him, but that does not make sense to me.
I mean, I think they played a city in Atlanta this past year, but they might as well not have showed up because Oregon's or Indiana skull dragged them. But yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that was a semi. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I saw the Oregonian people walking around, and they just look like friendless virgins.
Yeah, 100%.
That's okay, but I had him at just right. That puts an insane amount of pressure on him. It's like you're the next head coach to win a national championship. I feel like that opportunity was 2 years ago. Maybe it'll be. I will say though, I have Dante Moore as my pick to win the Heisman right now. If he
Mhm.
does that, sure, why not? But you
To be
know,
clear, I don't think Dan Lanning's a bad head coach. I just think
no,
it. I think it's. I don't know. Oregon. When I look at like Steve Sarkisian and Dan Lanning, because of like unmet expectations, are in a similar boat. I would argue that Marcus Freeman definitely deserves to be higher than this, just because like he has accomplished more with teams that were expected less of.
yeah, I think that's fair. So I have two more that I think are too hot on, and they're right next to each other. That's Kyle Whittingham and Kalani Sitake.
That's fair. Definitely fair.
I think they're both phenomenal head coaches. I'm glad to see Whittingham in the top 10, but having him ahead of Cristobal's doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, having him ahead of Lane doesn't make sense to me either.
I I have Lane, so I'll go ahead and spoil this. I have Lane in just right, just because he's an asshole. And like I understand that like if we're factoring in everything about these head coaches, we got to factor in the fact that Lane is who he is.
I have Lane at too cold, but that's okay. And look, if somebody's not going to be in the top 10, it's probably Satake. But I think he's done a phenomenal job of getting BYU ready to play in the Power Four League in the Big 12. They've been good the first 2 years they've been there. I had them going 4-8 the first year, and people were mad, and they did so much better. And they might make the playoff next year, and that would not shock me at all.
I almost just vocal stemmed on you because you said ready to play, and we were talking about I love you, man, before the show, and just ready to play, ready to play.
uh, Kawhi Satake is a big David Beckham Galaxy fan, man. I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
All right, and then I've for my two cold, I mentioned Kirby,
Yeah, I
I
also have
mentioned
Kirby.
I mentioned Lane, and I've got Mario in there as well.
Mario is my second one as well. What? I don't understand why Mario Cristobal's at number nine. I would have had him at number nine probably going into this season, and he just made the national championship game. So maybe move him up a little bit.
Yeah, I'd put him at like 6.
Yeah, like he deserves to be in the same tier as like Marcus Freeman, Dan Lanning, and Steve Sarkisian.
And I think that's fair. And then I had just right, which was Signetti. The other guys, I don't remember the hell it is.
I only had one just right, and I thought it was Lane. I said Lane Kiffin just because like the power conference success of Lane Kiffin, yes, like we all have recency bias and we're going to remember what he did at Ole Miss, which is impressive. Don't get me wrong about that. He also like flamed out very hard at USC and Tennessee, and now he's going to a much bigger, much more high profile job. And again, Lane Kiffin is an asshole. I'm not even saying that as derogatorily as it might be taken, but like he rubs people the wrong way and has at every single turn that we've seen to this point in his coaching tenure. And like who's to say that's not going to like blow up in his face at a program like LSU where the spotlight is much brighter than it was in Oxford?
And I think that's fair. I mentioned if I had to move one off, it's Sataki. Who would you move off?
I would probably move off Whittingham, honestly. Like, I think he's close to the top 10, but like, what has he actually done to deserve to be in the top 10 in terms of like national level success? Like, I think he's done a great job at Utah previously, but like at Michigan, the expectations are different than they were at Utah. The expectations are competing for a national championship, and we've never seen Kyle Whittingham really do that.
And I think that's fair. Who would you put in there that didn't make the cut?
I think I would have to. That's a good
It's hard.
question. It's a very hard question. I would probably trying to rack my brain. I think you could make a case for someone like Joey McGuire.
Joe McGuire is one I was considering too. I think Matt Campbell's very
Matt Campbell's a
close.
good one. I just kind of like doing research and like looking at different coaching rankings just to like get a baseline and then like going off of there. A lot of love for James Franklin and a lot of pre 2025 rankings that didn't age particularly well.
Nah, he's probably like a top 20 coach. Same with Lincoln Riley, and
Yeah,
I see that to be nice.
yeah, 100%.
And on that note, let's not be nice. Let's get hot in here with some. It's getting hot in here.
Thank God. We've been way too nice.
Thank God. CBS Sports, Brad Crawford put out the 10 hottest seats in college football, and I'll just read them off, and we can just react real quick.
Yeah, 100%.
Number one, he's got Mike Norvell. Two,
Yes.
he's got Steve Coogan, Luke Fickell.
Yes.
Three, cocky Shane Beamer.
Yes.
Four, Bill O'Brien. Five, Mike Loxley. He keeps flying under the radar, man.
How
Uh,
is he at five? How?
Six, Dave Aranda. Seven, Dabo Swinney. Eight, Kalen DeBoer. Nine, Bill Belichick. 10, Deion Sanders. I think we got to go to Mike Loxley first. That's insane. He should be number one, dude.
If not number one, at least top three.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't know why Mike Loxley still has a job, first and foremost. But then, on top of that, it feels like he just doesn't get brought up in the same with like the same vigor as he should. Like, he has done a consistently worse job than Mike Norvell. He has done a Luke Fickell, I think you probably have a case for being number one or number two, pretty obviously.
Mm.
But Bill O'Brien, the job that Mike Loxley is doing is much worse than the job Bill O'Brien is doing. And I don't think there's any question about that. Shane Beamer, I mean, at least you have 2024 to kind of hang your hat on. What does Mike Loxley have to hang his hat on?
He won the Mayo Bowl once. And Tyler
Sick.
Tungavai.
So did Shane Beamer.
Yeah, I know. I think that's the problem. A lot of guys get cursed by that. So watch out. Jake Dickert, man.
That's right. I think Jay Diggert's a better coach than all of them.
Yeah, I would probably agree there. The interesting one for me here, and again, I think Dabo and DeBoer is its own separate category, just depending
Mhm.
on expectations are insanely high.
Yeah,
Dave Aranda at six intrigues me.
100%. And I mean, I understand it because we went into last year talking about Baylor as a potential dark horse in the Big 12, and they really weren't that. When Auburn beat them earlier in the season, we were counting that as a quality win, and it was kind of just a game that Auburn probably should have won, and they made it a lot harder than it needed to be. And I don't know, we were giving Dave Aranda credit after 2024 saying, "Oh, it seems like it might be starting to click." And then we kind of took a step back. So if we were already I think it's just kind of reigniting a conversation because we were having this conversation about Dave Aranda going into 2024.
Yeah, I had them going 9-3. I had them challenging Arizona State and Utah and Texas Tech in there, and they weren't quite there. It's frustrating because we know Baylor can have a good year every once in a while, and
Hmm.
they're just not there. I also think the fact that Joe McGuire, his disciple, is having such tremendous success. I kind of took all your players, man. They
He's
took
just
it.
better than you.
Joe McGuire, shaking babies and kissing hands, asked the pretty girl out to prom while he takes Dave Aranda, who wears a nice suit, stealing his date.
He's stealing Dave Aranda's car.
Side note, I saw everybody after work today out here in Virginia Hill was just incredibly selfish. I saw a baby blue Corvette that was trying to turn around in the middle of the road and a parallel park, and it just stood out like a sore thumb. And I'm like, please don't hit me with this garbage can next to me and ruin my cardigan.
Please don't do this.
Don't do this.
Dude, watching people who can't parallel park in Atlanta is one of the most enjoyable experiences from a second hand, as long as your car and yourself is not in danger.
I'll never forget this. They had a big HBCU convention at Piedmont Park, and this guy had a Saints decal on the back, which I think just his car's tire should have been slashed, blocking all of Virginia Avenue up there by over the Beltline Bridge by Woody's Cheesesteaks. Nobody could get home. So you know what they did in Atlanta? They said, you know what? We're getting rid of that parking. We're gonna make it a bike lane, so you assholes don't get to do this anymore.
That's right, 100%. Have fun finding parking now.
I mean, he looked like D'Orlando Ledbetter in this false start. But anyway, on that note, is there anybody on this list that Brad Crawford put out that you think it's just this isn't fair? They
I've
should be on here.
I'm to be clear, I've done this in the business. Everyone who's in the content business has done this before. I feel like Deion Sanders is in the top 10 because he's Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's done, especially at Colorado, I don't think he's necessarily done as poor of a job to have him on the top 10 hottest seats going into next season.
He's got health issues. The job's insanely hard. You're switching leagues, man. This is give him a break, dude. Let him just coach at Colorado for as long as he wants to. Who cares? It makes him
100%.
interesting. Yeah.
100%. And I'm not ruling out that like maybe not in 2026, but like in the near future, like there's a real chance Colorado could be good again. Like I don't think it's that out of the question.
All right. I agree with that too. I got two more questions before we move on to our last topic. We're making hella good time here, man. I'm proud
With
of
some of the
ourselves.
topics we had, I'm very impressed
Yeah.
with what we've done.
It's like the timestamps is like 25 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 6 minutes. Let's
We're
go.
crushing it, crushing it.
We are so crushing it. Who of these guys do you think gets fired first?
Who gets fired first? I would go Fickle. I think Fickle probably gets fired first just because like it seemed like the pushback was not just like we don't want to pay the buyout at Wisconsin, but also more, I think even more so like we're trying to give this as much time as it needs to because Fickle did come in with a lot of pedigree, and I understand that. Whereas Norvell, I think the only reason he is still there is because of the buyout, and that buyout is still pretty substantial. And so like I would expect Florida State to wait for that to go down by the end of the season.
Florida State doesn't have any money, so that's going to be a problem. I would want to say Fickle, but Jennifer Nukin doesn't care.
Fair.
And Chris McIntosh is Mr. McIntosh from Blank Check. He's just living his best lavish life.
What a good movie, first of all. Let's be clear.
I had a feeling like that movie and Richie Rich were probably the two movies that just blew your mind. Just like, I want
Oh
that
yeah.
life. But also the fact that you're from Asheville too. It's like, I know where that is.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I could not like I was going to the Biltmore house as a kid, like on like kindergarten field trips, being like, that's where Richie Rich drove his car. That's where they had the McDonald's in the movie.
You have your own McDonald's.
They're sitting there trying to tell me about the history of the Biltmore estate, and I'm like, brother, we're in Richie Rich territory. Please don't talk to me.
We're gonna turn him into bedpans and bowling balls if you don't shut up.
Yeah, right. 100%.
They made a remake of that and it wasn't good.
No, God, no.
I don't even know if the Macaulay Culkin version was good, but I watched it a lot.
It's a distinctly 90s movie for sure.
How about Cadbury?
Cadbury.
Uh, the one kid who was like saying like that's insider trading. You're gonna go to jail for this.
There's some very adult jokes in it that are great.
Uh, and they took like a ride from like Six Flags Great America. It's like that's in your backyard now too.
100%. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know if they still do it, but like the end scene is like the big baseball game in like the front lawn. Asheville used to actually put one on, like a charity softball game there every year, which was a pretty cool nod to it.
I just assume the tourists play there, man.
No, they play at historic McCormick Field, which really random side note. You can see at the end of Bull Durham when they say Crash Davis broke the home run record, that is in McCormick Field in Nashville, where he hits that.
Speaking of Bull Durham, you know whose baseball cards on the mirror? It's Brian Snitker.
Hell yes.
Yeah, when he's the manager of the Durham
Hell
Bulls.
yes.
Oh, that is a movie. That is a
It's a
time.
great movie. I love that movie so much.
Hell yeah. I've always seen bits and pieces of it just because I'm me, but I need to see it all the way through.
It's I the dynamic between Kevin Costner and Tim Robbins just it lives in my head rent free 100%.
Is it Tim Robbins is he Chris Tim Robbins might be a Chris Sale's dad.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
Also, apparently I can watch the Braves now. Braves is something I don't know what the hell the Red Sox are doing for you guys.
Oh, we still got Nesson. We're good to go.
Yeah, we got something. It's just like every Metroplex has like its own channel. It's
Oh,
it's
100.
so
It's so dumb. It's beyond
uh,
stupid.
like Atlanta has its own, Macon, Augusta, Brunswick, Jackson, Mississippi. Huntsville has its own channel.
Look, Major League Baseball's figured out a lot in the past couple years to make the sport better for TV consumption. They forgot the most important part though, which is making it easy to watch your baseball team.
Yeah, we need Nana needs to be able to watch the Braves and the Brewers.
Yeah, 100%.
She's gonna lose her mind. So what was the hell I talking about? Coach who did Deion Sanders, I guess is what I said.
Yeah.
So how we got here at that. I think that's fair. And I think at the coach that like my second question was like, who should be on the hot seat? And I got one in that might blow your mind, but who do you think could be on more heat than you would expect?
Hit me with your name because I'm not going to be able to think about it until you tell me who your name is.
I think there's a chance it could get pretty bad for Sonny Dykes.
That's a really good one. That's like very much in the Dave Aranda conversation.
My concern is what if Josh Hoover goes and becomes the god that the FanDuel people think he's going to be for Indiana? He's not, but he's going to be good.
Yeah.
You didn't really win or push forward, build off that momentum of the Hypnotoad season. Sonny Dykes kind of got pushed out of Cal after that one really good year with Jared Goff. And then you're also dealing with the fact that, like, where's your booster money? Like, Texas Tech's drilling.
Mhm.
Baylor's
They're drilling, baby, drilling.
Baylor's doing stuff, and you're getting lapped, man. You won the Big 12 like 3 years ago. Now you feel like you're the bottom feeder of the old Southwest. And like if you go like 4-8, that could be bad.
No, I think that's a really good call. And like I said, like I see it in the same vein as Dave Aranda, except you have one obviously dream season for TCU in there. But like in the grand scheme of things, like your overall body of work is really unimpressive. And like, yeah, there's a lot of machinations that could go into that. I'll throw one out here. I still think it could work, but the evidence right now is not in my favor of thinking that. I think that it wouldn't be surprising to see West Virginia cut the ties with Rich Rod pretty quickly if it goes badly again.
They just pack it up, man. They just consolidate. And it's Boston College and West Virginia University.
I mean, like truly though, like
Yeah.
if it like last year was not pretty for West Virginia, and like specifically the offense wasn't that pretty, and like that's Rich Rod's bag, and so like if that happens again, and I understand West Virginia is a tough job, but like if that happens again, I don't see West Virginia being like, oh well, Rich Rod did it before, let's bring him back for year three.
I don't know who the hell you'd get for like year three, who you'd even hire at that point. Like West
You
Virginia.
just start you put out a student poll and just like see who passes the questionnaire.
Who do you want? Who do you want to coach you?
Pat McAfee, obviously.
Boston Connor, come on down.
AJ Hawk at Big 12 Media Days would be something special.
Yeah, Ty Schmidt's up in the booth calling plays.
I mean, honestly, AJ Hawk might be like the best like sacrificial lamb for a media day ever because like he's certainly not going to say anything that gets you in trouble.
I had a really, really, really funny Brady Quinn thought the other day.
What was that?
Oh God, I wish I could remember. I wish it could come back to me. It was so damn good. It was mm, what if somebody what if somebody just decides, you know what, you're a property brother. He's just like, I'm not ready for this.
Who could be ready for this? That's the second time Brady Quinn's come up today. I saw someone on Twitter talking about the Vikings, and they were like, the Vikings have made a lot of blunders over the years, but one of them was certainly not drafting Adrian Peterson over Brady Quinn.
I'd love to have Brady Quinn on the show. Brady Quinn's just like
Oh, I love Brady Quinn, man.
uh
I don't mean this as mean as it's probably going to sound as are most things I say, but like he's a much better like college football analyst than he was a quarterback.
he was a great college quarterback. He was a terrible pro quarterback,
I
but
mean,
he was
I meant pro quarterback to be very
yeah.
clear. He was a good at Notre Dame. He was very good. No denying that.
He just takes me back to my mom's Ohio roots.
That's right.
And on that note, let's move on to our last topic today with always be Cruton. That was the wrong tab, and there we go. Uh, One of Philip Rivers' a million kids made a decision for themselves and decided to go to their parents' alma mater. Yes, Gunnar Rivers, the four-star quarterback out of Alabama Catholic High School, is going to go to NC State because, of course, he is.
Of course he is. Like Philip Rivers, I would be surprised if any kid didn't go to NC State. Like I think that's where I'm at with Philip Rivers.
Uh,
I will say Gunnar Rivers sounds a lot better than Gunnar Gundy. Like I think Gunnar Rivers is a strong name. Gunnar Gundy sounds like you like put it in a name generator.
Gunnar Gundy sounds like the guy who's looking for tabs, for looking for pull tabs.
Yes, correct. 100%.
Uh, Gator Gundy. Gator Gundy's
That's a legend.
that's a legend because he goes by Gator because Remington's too hard to sell and Remy's too sissy.
That's right. 100%.
Gunnar Rivers going to NC State. I bet he throws exactly like his dad too.
Oh, 100%. It's just gate. I did see something funny. NC State fans were super pissed off because apparently, like, right after he committed to NC State. I can't remember if it was 24/7 or Rival, but someone like dropped his recruiting ranking like immediately after. He dropped like 30 spots in recruiting after committing to NC State.
I wonder if he's dating his middle school sweetheart.
Of course he is. That's the way he's raised.
I want one of the Rivers kids just to turn heel, man. Just to be like, just I don't know, just drive into the ditch.
Just be like Diego Pavia, basically.
There's nothing better than being alive. I'm like, Dad, this planet sucks.
I effing hate it here. Thanks for
I hate, I
asking.
hate, I hate it here. Like one of the kids is like, I'm gonna go to NYU, really piss you off. They don't even have football.
One of them goes to like, yeah, one goes to Carolina, one goes to NYU, one goes to like Emerson.
So he's got like what, like 12 kids roughly.
Yeah, it rounds up to a dozen for sure.
And if I recall correctly, it's not a 50-50 split. There's more girls than guys.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a lot of females.
There's like two or three guys. So like what if like none of them were good? It just,
I will say Gunner is like
oh yeah,
supposed to be pretty good, like pretty damn good. And like to Dave Doran's credit, like this isn't like a small get. Yes, you had some advantages with the fact that he's Philip Rivers' kid, but like in terms of getting a good football player, NC State is getting a good football player.
I mean, Bama didn't want Philip Rivers. Auburn did, and I don't think Tennessee did. And that's why he went there.
Yeah, 100%.
They have
And
a Bucky. They have a Bucky's in Philip Rivers' hometown of Athens, Alabama.
God almighty. Philip Rivers, like I have nothing but respect for Philip Rivers. I obviously don't like his alma mater at all, but like I why like I always enjoyed him as a football player, even though obviously he never achieved anything at the team level that he did individually. But like him coming back to the Colts this year was just awesome. Like it was so freaking awesome. Like he gets up there and like I'll like it's gonna live in my brain for eternity. One of the Colts, I believe it was Greg Doyle of the Indianapolis Star, was like, how much do you weigh now? And he goes, I don't know, Greg, a lot more than I did 5 years ago. Like the most relatable answer of all time.
I totally almost forgot that he played for the Colts this year.
Yeah, I mean, like he's just a dude who likes playing some pigskin.
I know, man. He was going through diaper hell, and now he's going through braces hell, man. Just like you gotta buy so much proactive
It
solution
it
right
might be
now.
it honestly might be both because the span of these kids is like literally 20 years.
Oh my God. It's just that's unbelievable.
I'm actually gonna look that up. I'm gonna see what the age gap. Philip Rivers' kids ages. Let's see. Uh,
That's
bro, the youngest one is two, 2 years
jeez.
old, and then he has a 23-year-old.
Nobody likes you when you're 23 years old.
God, honestly, I like if I've ever needed a football life about anyone, it's Philip Rivers, and like it's a football and dad life. Like that's what we need.
We need the good and then we need the bad with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He needs some
There we
good.
go.
Oh God, I had that's the other thing that was dumb. Philip Rivers, coaches. Oh God, it was so damn funny. As you can tell, this is what happens when we record after work, man. You're just so
Well,
shot.
our brains are not like functioning like normal humans.
No, it's Gunner Rivers throwing sidearm and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's how it is. That's what it is. So I don't know if the starters know this, but Rodrigo Blankenship's dad taught at my high school for a bit.
Hell yeah, I didn't know that. If you told me, I forgot.
And I've been waiting to say this for the show, and this is the right time. So here we go. So Rodrigo is probably 6, 7 years, 8 years younger than me, I would say.
Yeah.
So his dad was the special teams coach for our high school, and he also was like one of the soccer coaches, like the assistant head coach for the soccer team.
Okay.
And his dad walked with like a little bit of a limp, and Rodrigo walked with a little bit of a limp too to emulate his dad. His
Love
dad
that.
wanted a Brazilian soccer player, so naturally Rodrigo's mom was Brazilian. His dad taught English, and he liked to listen to the song. I like to move it, and he would dance at his desk like this. I don't think I ever said anything to Coach Blankenship, but I distinctly remember this. I must have been like a sophomore or junior. This would have been like when Rodrigo's in like fifth grade, so he got to school
Right.
already. His dad didn't teach in seventh period, so what he would do is he would go out to the practice field and have Rodrigo like kicking field goals over the upright and stuff. And I was like, this is a vibe.
Oh, 100%.
And to make this even stranger, so Rodrigo didn't actually go to Walton. He went to Sprayberry. He went to the more blue collar high school in East Cobb, if you will, which and because they wouldn't let Rodrigo kick on the varsity team as a freshman. It's like we got this
Okay.
really nice guy who's waited his time, there for a couple of years, and he's ready to play. Coach Blankenship's like, F him, we're going to Sprayberry.
F them kids.
And I think he played with like Trey Sermon and Jabari Zuniga there at Sprayberry, so I think he made a better choice that way.
Not bad. Not bad.
But like just overbearing father coaches, just it's unbelievable.
It's good stuff, man. I also have fond memories of my soccer coach in high school not having a seventh period and pulling me out of class to go paint lines on the field on game days. It was great.
That's amazing, man. That's exactly what we need here. It builds character and make it look nice and pretty, man. You know
That's
why?
right.
Because this was episode 254 of False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter or the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Give us a 5-star review. That's how many kids at one point Philip Rivers had, but he said have 5 more after that, and then he's working on 5 more after that too.
100%. Yeah, it's a life plan, you know.
It's a life plan. We don't know what we're doing, man.
And speaking of our life plan, donate on Buzzsprout, baby.
Yeah, no, Buzzsprout. There's like you can put like a rocket emoji on there. You can put like a hand. Just let us know, and we'll talk about it on the show for sure. Because we gotta keep the lights on here, man.
100%. Yeah, I got a lamp. There's not even any overhead lighting. I would like to add some.
Yeah, it's really dark over here. I've got like a ring light right there that's blinding me. It's making me look more phased behind the eyes than AI.
Yeah, I mean, if I look straight ahead, I won't see you for the rest of the show.
It's
So.
it's fine, man. Apparently, that's not bringing anything to the economy.
No, God, no.
And I don't know if we're bringing anything to the economy. Nunk Cheppy, because this is False Start.